And welcome into a special edition of the Task Force. We are live here at our good friend Wild Bill's on this fine Friday night. We got the guys playing poker behind us, of course, just for fun. And I think that a couple people are drinking. I've got Sprites, but we got a huge weekend coming up. And who better to talk to than my man, not just horseman of great times, not just a legendary handicapper, but also, and I want to put this up right away, attorney at law. This is one of the great attorneys I've ever known. And I got the number flashing down there. Former Wayne County prosecutor, criminal defense attorney for 29 years. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But we got Mark the Show, Haider. Show, you know I love having you on these shows.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and we're going to give people a chance to get your info if they need any legal help, which a lot of people do. And Mark, wouldn't you say, as great as horse betting is, and now it's obviously legal to do it online, all that stuff, a lot of horse bettors, they get into some legal trouble. So I think that we have a lot of people watching tonight that might need some help with some criminal stuff.
We'll be glad to help them out.
Yes, and of course, our great friends at AmWager make this possible, my great sponsor. They've got a great deal for you to get ready for the Preakness. Of course, it's tomorrow at 5:45, and it's going to be just a ridiculous thing having it in October. And we're going to get into that in a second here. But I want people to know, if they go to AmWager right now, deposit nothing. Just sign up, go to amwager.com, use the promo code TASKFORCE, $10, no strings attached, no deposit needed. That's all in there for you if you go to amwager.com and put in the promo code TASKFORCE. You got your cash for tomorrow. Turn that 10 into 2,000. Who knows? Also, on top of that $10 bonus, or actually, no deposit needed, you can also get up to a $100 match bonus for whatever you want to deposit. $50 the match to 50. 100 the match to 100. 80 the match to 100. So you get that as well. If you go to amwager.com over the next couple of days, use the promo code TASKFORCE. You get all that, including rewards, daily rewards on top of that, based on how much you wager. Mark, it's a pretty sweet deal. You've been betting horses for a long time. You always want to take free money, right?
Got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. So listen, speaking of nothing to lose, how about tomorrow's 145th running of the Preakness? I know we had a bunch of races tonight to get ready for that. How are you feeling heading into this? And I know what we're going to do is go through a pick five sequence, right? It starts tomorrow and leads up to the Preakness Stakes. Is the Preakness Stakes race 12? I'm sorry, I always forget.
It's race 11 tomorrow.
Race 11, that's right. All right, but what do you think about what's going to happen tomorrow? Obviously, Art Collector, Authentic, the two favorites. You got a lot of different interesting scenarios with horses for prices. But the fact that we're having the Preakness in October, you've been doing this for a long time. Pretty crazy, right? Crazy year.
Oh, yeah. This is unprecedented, and you'll never have another year like this one. So you just got to treat it for what it is.
That is definitely it. So before we get into anything, let the people know again, I'm going to show the odds here. And obviously these odds are changing by the minute. And we'll have obviously the morning odds come out, and then the pools will open, as soon as the first race is open. Here is where we're at right now when it comes to the Preakness odds. Authentic, the favorite, 9-5. Art Collector, 5-2. I know there's been some movement on that. With Skydiver, 1,000 words, 6-1. Mr. Big News, 12-1. New York Traffic, and Max Player, 15-1. Excuse me, Pneumatic, 20-1. Accession, Jesus' team, what a horse name, and Live Your Best Life, 30-1. Mark, what do you like for tomorrow in the actual Preakness Stakes?
All right. Well, we'll skip right to the 11th race. Post time for that race is about 5:36 p.m. A little earlier than the Derby. I'm going to be playing Art Collector. I think there's a little story behind this horse. The trainer is not as well known, obviously, as Bob Baffert.
Right.
Bob Baffert brings him ready to run. Authentic is, quite frankly, looking very, very strong. But I think there's a little karma. There'll be a little karma on the side of Art Collector. His jockey is not as well known as J.R. Velasquez, but he's an up and comer. He's ridden this horse perfectly in his last 5 starts. This trainer has only won one grade 1 race, but with this horse. This horse could be a little special. So I'm going to go with Art Collector. I'm going to use Swiss Skydiver and Authentic, along with Baffert's other horse, 1,000 Words. This will be the finale of the pick 5.
Right.
And the pick 5 ticket that I'm recommending, I will go 2 deep using the 3 and the 9.
Okay. So you like, Art Collector, Authentic. And I know you talked about the Philly Swiss Skydiver. And I know for me, I like Max Player, the Steve Asmussen trained horse. So that's where we're at with the Preakness Stakes race 11. And it's funny, Mark, because obviously people like you and I, especially you know how this stuff works. I had a neighbor friend of mine that had a nice Kentucky Derby party for the neighborhood. And she thought the Kentucky Derby was just one race. She didn't understand that it's 12 to 14 races and the Derby's race 12 or 13. So I just want to let everyone know the Preakness Stakes is not, it's one race in a midst of tons of races throughout the day at Pimlico. It's funny to me, Mark, because novices, just some of them don't know that. That's fine. But that's one race in a full day of races. And you prepared for us an incredible pick 5 sequence. Will you do this? And I'm going to show the Amwager software. Obviously, we can't make the pick 5 bet right now because the pools aren't open yet. But I'm going to show what that means and how to do it. Explain what a pick 5 is to those that maybe don't understand how to make a wager on a pick 5 and why there's such great value.
All right. Just one correction. You can actually bet these races right now on Amwager. They allow advanced betting on Preakness Day. So
I was unaware of that.
Yeah. So yeah, you can bet these races. You can bet the Preakness right now. Now there might.
All right, guess what? I'm there. You're right. Is that the way they do it? See, this is why my expert on with me. For the Derby, for the Preakness, for the Belmont, for the Breeders, you can do this early, can't you?
Yes, you can.
All right. Well, here we're on the site right now. This is what is called the Pro version. There is a Plus version, which is kind of more for the novices, but I think they're both very easy. I'll show you the Plus version in a second. But Mark, we're here, so we're going to start. We're going to do a pick 5 and start in race number 7.
Okay.
All right, so this is enough. Yeah, let me show you how to do it. You select pick 5 right there. Obviously, you can do pick 3 if you want. There's all your other things. Exactas, tries, all the exotics. There's a pick 5, and it gives you race 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you can select your horses. So what are we going to do this for as far as dollar amount goes? Minimum 50 cents.
Yeah, this 7th race is a nice little stakes race, a grade 3 race, which isn't the highest grade. The Preakness is a grade 1. There'll be another grade 2 on this card, and this is a grade 3. These are some very fine colts. They're 3-year-olds and up. The favorite's going to be the 5, and I'm going to try to beat the 5. I'm going to use the 2, the 3, and the 7.
Okay.
The 3 is going to be a pretty good long shot. So if we can start with that 3, then you got a great pick 5. Again,
by the way, I like the 7, Stan the Man. I like that name. A lot of times you want to look at some names there. And by the way, if people don't know, Christo Sky, Eastern Bay, Stan the Man is the 2, the 3, and the 7.
Right. Now, a pick 5 is a very difficult thing to hit. You've got to pick the winner in 5 consecutive races.
Yep.
The thing about parimutuel betting, you're betting against the other bettors. So, you could theoretically play a 50-cent ticket by playing one horse in each of the 5 races. The chance of hitting that are slim to none.
Right.
So the way you do this is you try to pick, or you see what your budget is, and there's certain races you might feel more confident in, some that you might not feel as confident in. So you have to use more horses in those races. I know here I'm just going to limit it to the top 3 picks in these races so that it doesn't get to be too expensive.
All yeah, right. By the way, is what you're explaining, like, obviously, if you want to, I've hit pick 3s and pick 4s before, with big favorites and only taking one horse. You want to do what's called spreading. Because, yeah, you can sniggle a race maybe even single 2 legs in a pick 5 or pick 6. But you're going to have such a hard time, exponentially harder time winning if you don't spread and have 2 or 3 or 4, even 5 horses in some legs. And Mark, we talked about this before when you've been on the show. You had a pick 6 for $411,000. You had tons of horses throughout that, and it was an expensive wager. But that's how it's got to spend money to make money, right? This is going to be a reasonably priced wager that can make us a good amount of money.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, in race 7, which is a 6 furlong sprint, I used the 2, 3, and 7. Going over to the 8th race is going to be on the turf. It's a 1 1/16, and it's for 2-year-olds.
And Mark, really quick, let me stop you for 1 second. So people looking at this offer right now, you see all the different races right here. If you go up to right here, it says exactly what kind of race it is. Thoroughbred stakes race, turf, 1 in 16 miles, the purse, 150,000. It does that for each race, and that's always a great feature to know what you're getting into. All right, go ahead, Mark. Sorry about that.
Okay, so the 8th race is another stakes race, and it's restricted to 2-year-old colts. Now, actually, not they're all 2-year-old colts in the race, but fillies would be eligible, but for the most part, these are all male horses. Now, this is on the turf, which is a little different racing. There are horses that are bred for the turf. In this race, I've gone 3 deep. Again, J.R. Velasquez is riding the 1. His name is Pivotal Mission.
Yep, 3-1.
There's a horse coming from France, and this horse was bred strictly for the turf. He has 2 wins over there in France, and the horse's name is Wooten Asset.
And by the way, it says, if people look, Mark, it shows you when you look at this race that it's FR right there. If you look to the left, I'm trying to get over there. I want to stick on that race. It shows you if the horse is from France or Ireland or Great Britain, which is important information.
Right. So we're going to go 3 deep. We're going to go the 2 horses I previously mentioned, and we're also going to use Arrest Me Red. Arrest Me Red is making only the 2nd start of his career, but he finished with a flourish. He'll be stretching out to a longer distance, and he's got a good trainer, but not as well known a trainer. A competent jockey, not as well known, but very well known on this circuit, this East Coast circuit, Jimmy Pimatelli, and I would think he could light up the board. If you go to the 9th race, again, it's another small stakes race on the turf. You got a full field of 14 horses. This is the most difficult race.
Right.
If you had the budget, you could spread here. You could theoretically pick 10 of the horses, 10 out of the 14, and not have the winner. All right. But we're restricting our budget. And we're going to go with Mike Maker's horse. That's the 1 horse.
Chocolate bar.
Yeah, Mike Maker is a very well-known trainer, extremely successful. Actually, his father used to train at the old DRC, George Maker. And Mike's been in the game a long time. He's got a nice horse named Chocolate Bar. And in the 9th race, there's also a horse by the name of Reconvene. Reconvene has been gelded since his last start. For those of you that don't know what gelding means, he's been snipped. His manhood is gone.
Snip sauce.
He's, it happens in life.
It happens. You got to take care of it sometimes.
And quite frankly, it can have a dramatic effect on a horse's performance. Some of them, once they're snipped, they get down to business.
Right. They're not screwing around with the fillies. They're not messing around.
Yeah. So we're going to hope that Reconvene can throw a big one. Also, I like the 10 horse named Don Juan Kitten. bred for the turf, owned by a very prolific owner here in the United States. His name is Kenneth Ramsey. Him and his wife, Sarah, literally own dozens of horses, well-bred, top-class horses. And this man bets with both hands. Out of Keeneland. This guy will go to the window, and if you're behind him, forget it. You ain't getting your bet in.
That's great.
Yeah. And the guy's almost 80 years old. He's a little portly, but he loves life. I think he's going to outlive everybody.
Even me?
He's bigger than you, Dan. And but he loves his horses. He really loves his horses. And
hey, you gotta love a guy like that.
And he's not afraid to pound the windows.
All right, so we've got the 1, the 4, and the 10. Anything else in that third leg, race 9?
Well, that third leg is the toughest.
Right.
So, like I said, but we got to restrict it to 3.
Okay.
And then if you go to the race before the Preakness, that's called the Black Eye Susan. I mentioned it on the earlier telecast. It's for 3-year-old fillies, restricted to 3-year-old fillies. And there are some good ones here in the U.S. And we have a full field of 11 going at it in this 1 1/8 contest. The favorite's going to be the 5. And based on the numbers, Bonnie South, this horse will go off the favorite. Trained by Brad Cox, who's in the last 3 years has really been winning races at a very high rate. Ridden by Florent Giraud, who's another French jockey that's over, and he wins almost a 20% clip, which is about as good as any jockey can do.
Yep.
But I'm hoping that that an up-and-coming horse that is run 3 strong races in a row at lower class levels, but is moving up the ladder. Really, numbers-wise, you would think this horse does not fit, but it just looks like this horse, number 10, named Landing Zone, has found his stride, found his confidence, and is ready to throw the race of his life. So that's who I'm going with.
So just the 10, or are we also going with Bonnie South?
The 5 and the 10. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, you got to take the 5.
You can't ignore the ability of the 5.
Okay, and then you and go ahead.
But the 10 is the price horse. Okay,
and that's once again. So people that don't know, the price horse is obviously you want to have some price horses come in that are non-favorites, a 7-1, a 10-1, a 15-1. That's what adds value and helps you make a 50-cent pick 5 that wins $1,000 or $1,500. So that's a great way to do it. You spread. You have some favorites in there, but you need that price horse to come through as well, Mark.
All right. Yeah, and now I know you're going to be around people that might be having a few cocktails, enjoying the races, and probably not your viewers, but necessarily, but maybe they know somebody that had a little too much to drink and they got stopped on the way home and they need an attorney. You let them know who to call, Dan. I
will. Hey, before we get to that, let's just go over one more time what we're doing in the Preakness Stakes itself. Art collector. You like Swiss Skydiver, and obviously authentic, right? That's what we're going to do. All right. And by the way, just to throw it in here, this is how easy to spend on AmWager. That is going to cost $81.50. And Mark, if it's a great spread, pick 5. If that comes in, that could win a decent amount of money. There's no way to know until tomorrow, but that could win a lot of money, Mark.
Oh, the pool will be huge. If you hit that pick 5 there, your minimum $750. It could pay $4,500.
Yep. All right. Well,
came in. Yeah.
You could have explained that better, and I wanted to give this its own width and breadth. So obviously, we love AmWager. I'll get to that in a second, but I want to give you a moment here because you are an incredible attorney. You've been doing it for almost. You're only 40 years old, so you've been doing it for 38 years. You started when you were 2, but you were a Wayne County prosecutor for 8 years. criminal defense attorney for 29 years. You can handle any kind of criminal case. The stories you've told me about the cases you've been able to help people get off on when they were innocent, all the things you've done have been incredible. You know all the judges, you know all the prosecutors, and I want people to know that they can reach out to you. The number is right down there, float across your screen. I'll give it to you again verbally. And I just think that it's really great that people are watching this, that if they need help, call Mark. It's 313. I love this, 999-1372. 313-999-1372. But Mark, you can take any kind of case. You've been doing this for a long time. I want people to have the right kind of attorney. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends and you're a very smart and knowledgeable person, but you know what to do when it comes to criminal defense.
Well, let's put it this way. If I needed an attorney and was in trouble, You'd hire
yourself. You'd hire yourself. That's how good you are. Mark, I can't thank you enough. Before we go, just once again, our great friends at AmWager are helping the show be possible tonight. They have a great deal for you, just for viewers of the task force. If you go to amwager.com right now, you can do it through the weekend. Put in the promo code, join now, sign up. Put the promo code task force in. You get a free $10 no deposit bet. And then on top of that, you can turn that into whatever you want. Whenever you want to deposit again, up to a $100 match bonus. You can play Pimlico tomorrow. You can play Mountaineer. You can play Belmont with whatever tracks you want. They have over 450 tracks and incredible software. And by the way, actually, before we go, I wanted to show one more quick thing, Mark. But get involved tonight, and they're a great sponsor of this show and a great place to wager for tomorrow. And, of course, for Mark, make sure you go to, call 313-999-1372. Mark, before we go, I just wanted to quickly show people the other version. There's the obviously the pro version I've been showing people. They also have one that's more for novices. It's called the plus version. Just take a quick look really quick here. Same kind of wagers. It's got all the different screens up. You can watch, by the way, all the tracks they have live, and it shows you, literally up to the second what's going on. You can obviously bet on this version as well and watch all the stuff live. So check that out too. Mark, I can't thank you enough. There's no better horseman I know than you. And our good friend Judge Dredd, he's all right, but he's no Mark the Show Haider. So let's hit that pick 5. Let's hit our Preakness bets, and hopefully we have a nice socially distanced outdoor party on your incredible backyard porch.
All right. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks so much. And you see Mark's number down there. Call that number. We know horse players love to wager, but get in some trouble sometimes, not with betting on horses, other things. Call 313-999-1372. Don't forget, go to amwager.com, sign up, get that $10 free no deposit bonus needed. Promo code Task Force. Mark, see you soon, my friend. Thanks so much. We love you.
Take care.
For Mark Haider, I'm Dan Leach. And as always, wash your hands, spread love that hate, and believe in the dream. See ya at the Preakness tomorrow. Peace.